Yo, in today's video, we'll be looking at strange and creepy TikToks that will make you question reality. Landslides were caught on camera in the Italian commune of Nebraska. Several days of heavy rain caused rivers to overflow. Yo, I couldn't imagine seeing that in real life or in person.
I just saw a video that's got me freaking out right now. This woman said that everybody is not aware of the dengue, however you say that, fever right now. And I want to say that my son had it. And I took him to the doctor, and everybody ignored me. Nobody listened to me. And I told them, dude, he is sick. He was having headaches, and his eyes would be bulging. His face would be blood red. His neck would be red down to his chest. And it would come and go. Like, he would have these little spells and he wouldn't feel good. He would have real bad headaches, body pains. Man, the body pains. He was screaming out in excruciating pain from his body pains. And no flu, no COVID, nothing. No test results showed anything at all. And I told the doctor, I started looking up on Google. You know, that's the last place you want to go. You want to go to the doctor first. But I started looking up on Google, and I called the doctor back and I said, I'm pretty sure it's mosquitoes. And she was like, no, then we haven't had any cases, blah, blah, blah. This was a month ago, okay? This was a month ago. And I told the doctor, I said, look, he has had a fever for a week. He has been having these excruciating pains for a week in his head, in his body. His eyes are bulging. He does not feel good. There's something wrong with him. It's because we have a mosquito outbreak. Mosquito, dengue, he, hoo. I don't know what it's called. That is going around. And ever since my son has gotten bit by the mosquito, I have been adamant with everybody. If you have my children, if my children are outside, they better have mosquito spray on, because I cannot lose a kid. This is so deadly, guys, especially for children and older people. It can kill them. It can make them extremely sick and kill them. And it's going on right now. It's going on everywhere. There's many cases. And my son had it. And my doctor ignored it. The pediatrician ignored it. And that's not okay. And that's why I'm freaking out, because I cannot stand the thought of somebody losing their child over a little bitty bug that's that fucking little. I cannot fathom the pain and suffering these children and people are going through that are getting bit by mosquitoes, and then the pain and suffering their families are having to go through because they're passing away because of it. Dude, put your fucking bug spray on.
Y'all heard about this dengue, ho ho ha ha fever? Man, be safe out here, for real. I'm gonna give me some bug spray. I sure got towed up by some mosquitoes the other day. I mean, I ain't got no fevers or nothing, but hopefully I don't. That's messed up, man. Who else hates mosquitoes?
People are dying from cucumbers, and now I need to start my own farm, because why is 167,000 pounds of chicken on fucking recall? It's getting to a point where I'm scared to eat, because how am I supposed to know that 167,000 pounds of chicken I might be eating is contaminated? And I know you didn't fucking know that this shit was on recall, because it just happened a day ago and I don't hear anyone talking about it. So I'm gonna tell you the details, and remember, don't eat a cucumber. So allegedly, they're claiming that Purdue Farms is recalling over 167,000 pounds of chicken products due to potential metal contamination. Aren't we just talking about listeria and salmonella? Now we gotta deal with fucking metal. What are y'all doing? What's even more weird is that this is in fucking effect until March 23rd of 2025.
Oh, wow.
How much? Where is this chicken at? This comes directly from ABC News, so this is not a joke. Poultry company voluntarily recalled 167,171 pounds of frozen chicken after a foreign material was identified in a limited number of consumer packages. This includes, but not limited to, the Simply Smart organic gluten-free breaded chicken breast nuggets, Butcher Box organic free fully frozen cooked breast chicken nuggets. All products have a March 23rd, 2025 used by date.
Y'all, I got a pack of those upstairs right now in my freezer. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Dang. Guess I can't cook those.
I'm not not like a poultry expert, but what chicken is lasting until 2025? Is it the artificial chicken that has the metal? The one that y'all said y'all was gonna make in labs? Stay away. Stay away. Oh, and who got a farm? Because I'm not eating this shit no more.
Scientists have discovered a planet that they are dubbing a freak of nature. And we're gonna talk about it right fucking now. Small panic. Now, I use the term planet loosely because, to be quite fucking honest with you, they have no idea what the fuck it is. Their best guess is that it's either a low-mass star or a brown dwarf. It's not acting like one, though, because it is literally on its way to escape this galaxy. You heard me fucking right. It's flying 1 million miles per hour. And apparently it sounds like they discovered this shit by accident. Now, I understand that planets move, right? Especially if they're around a star, which is the reason for days, nights, seasons, shit like that. And they all go at their own rate, which is why a day on Jupiter is not the same rate as a day on Earth. I have so many issues with this, though. 1 million miles per hour? 1 million miles per hour. What the fuck? Is there some sort of a galactic slingshot that sent this thing into motion?
Maybe.
Or on the flip side of things, are we sure that this is a star or a dwarf or a planet?
Right.
They say for fucking sure that it is not a comet or an asteroid. But what other planet in space do you know that travels 1 million miles an hour and is traveling out of its own galaxy? Are we sure it's a planet? That does not seem like planetary behavior to me. However, what do I know? I'm not a fucking expert. It's so fucking cool to read about, though. And I genuinely can't wait to see what the hell it does. Also, don't forget, if you're into that witchy shit like I am, today is the fucking blue moon. Charge your shit under the moon today. Huzzah!
Take your screenshots.
In many ways, Hollywood movies and television are actually sort of doing behavior modification
Precisely.
on people to get them to behave in certain ways to think is socially acceptable, and then people actually go out and they act the way they're supposed to act rather than the way they really feel in any given situation.
Exactly. Precisely.
So it cements the social structure.
That's it.
And I do understand that. Would you also talk about how movies are revealing the Illuminati agenda?
Oh, God, yes. What a story that is. Absolutely. Even more so than you know. Even more so than you suspect. I have been looking at one subject for, since 1967. In Glendale, California, let me preface this. In Glendale, California, in 1967, I was researching communism for a lecture I was going to give, and I went to a World Book Encyclopedia, and there was the picture of the national coat of arms of the Soviet Union and the Soviet flag. And that was in 67. Well, I started speaking to small little groups in 60. So for 7 years, I'd already been talking to little mom and pop groups and little library rooms and all that, and little bookstores and all that kind of thing. But it was in 67 that I came across a symbol, which was the national coat of arms of the Soviet Union. And I was familiar by that time with a particular term that the communists have used, the Nazis have used, the British have used, the Americans have used. And the more I began to, and so when I saw this symbol and the term and the explanation for the symbol in the World Book Encyclopedia, it finally hit me that something is going on a massive, enormous scale around the world. And for the first time, I saw it in the Soviet National Coat of Arms, because it was using the same words and terms that the Hitler had used, the Nazis had used, that the fascists had used in Italy. And now, as I begin to look, the people of India used it, the governments around the world are using the same symbol. And so I knew that I had stumbled upon something of profound significance. I didn't know what it was, but I already knew, I had a gut feeling that something is really big going on the earth. And the Soviet National Coat of Arms was what triggered my catching it.
when you talked about the symbols there, that reminded me how much of your work is about the interpretation of symbols. And somebody mentioned to me that you were actually the model for the symbologist that was played by Tom Hanks in the movie Da Vinci Code, the Da Vinci Code. Can you say anything about that? Is it true that that was based on your work and your personality and your research?
Well, I'm not in a position to say for sure, because I'm not privy to how they came up with what they did in the movie. All I will say that is for sure and provable is that in 1991, I think it was, I did a presentation that was videotaped in Pasadena area at a bookstore, and the video is out all over the world. It's called the Basic Slide Presentation. And in that, that was back in 1991, Pasadena, I was introduced as an expert on secret societies and occult emblems and symbols of religion and government. And I walked up onto the stage, and it was a slide presentation that I was doing. And so I had the slide projector on, and the slide that was being projected on the screen, I left it on, even before I started, just to have a picture for people to see when they came in. So the slide projector was already on, and the picture that was on the screen was the back of the dollar bill, the pyramid on the back of the dollar bill. And when I walked up onto the platform, I walked in front of.
So look.
Yeah, that interview probably went on for a long, long time, but they always put things in movies, and then, what I'm saying, if you know, it's one of those type of situations, what I'm saying, because you could be watching a movie with somebody and something comes on the screen and you're like, yo, that's something right there, and the person next to you, you're like, I didn't see anything. So it's kind of one of those if you know things, but pay attention to the subliminals that they be throwing out there, and the symbols, it's all there.
You see how this bathtub is running, right? Like, the bathtub is running, right?
I see that, yeah.
I'm about to show you what I do, since you think I don't do shit. And I'm going to do this in all under 1 minute. So I'm going to have this video be 1 minute. So look, we coming outside, and we about to go under the house. We going under the house. Okay, now you hear that noise? Under the house, I can see that the bathtub is dripping.
That's crazy.
All under the house. All the damage. Shit.
Yeah, you gotta get them houses inspected first, for real.
Now video that will give any parent chills. A group of kids comes running home after they say a stranger tried to lure one of them into his SUV. Thankfully, their mom was there and the suspected bad guy took off. Lisa Guerrero has details.
It's a scary sight. Youngsters fleeing after they say a motorist tried to lure them into his SUV. The suspect actually got out of the car and chased one of the boys.
Why are you running like that?
Their screams alerted mom, Jenna Skolnick. The quick-thinking mom was able to snap a photo of the suspect's license plate. She also got an image of the guy who turned around and jumped back into the passenger seat.
I just thought to myself, if this isn't a joke and if they have him, I need their license plate to be able to find them.
There were at least 2 men in the SUV. Dallas police say a second vehicle, this dark pickup truck, may have also been involved. The 2 vehicles had pulled up next to each other before the white SUV backed up closer to the children.
They came up my phone, asked me to come in, someone trying to kidnap Jay.
What did he say to try to lure you to his car?
He said, there's a football player in the back of the car. Go to the back and talk to him. And I said, hell no, I don't talk to strangers, and I ran away.
That's
what. Got out of the car and started.
He cussed on TV. That kid don't play. He said H no.
chasing me.
Earlier in the day, 3 miles away, a similar terrifying situation. This teen is cowering behind a car, trying to hide from a driver who she says had been following her as she walked to school. The high school student says the man drove back and forth several times, each time going slower and slower. She says he also kept staring at her. She ended up running to a neighbor's door and asking for help.
I could tell that she was visibly shaken and upset, so I just asked her what was wrong, and she said this man had been following her. She knew this guy was tracking her. She reached out for help when she needed it. I'm just glad that we could be there and give her a safe place to go.
Police do not believe the two cases are related. In the meantime, they're advising parents to walk their kids to school or the bus stop just to be safe.
I want you to all stay together.
How proud are you of your sons?
I'm so proud, and they were so brave, and I'm so grateful that they did the right thing.
He just tried to abduct us.
You can't be too careful. Studies show every 40 seconds a child goes missing or is abducted here in the U.S.
Messed up.
Hi, I'm Dipti Trahan. I'm a physician from Texas. Today is August 14th, 2024. Today I want to address a new syndrome that we are seeing in the victim children of the criminal enterprise called Family Court, CPS, DCFS. Victim parent after victim parent is reporting that their child is rejecting them, lashing out at them, going no contact with them. The family courts and mental health care providers would like for you to call it parental alienation. And today I want to explain why we, the people, will not be using this term. What our children are suffering from is a cluster of symptoms and signs that affect all aspects of their health: mental, physical, academic, social, occupational, and financial. What our children and we are suffering from is called government-inflicted familial trauma, ironically shortened to GIFT. Today we focus on the children's symptoms and signs. There will be a second video coming up to discuss how the syndrome presents itself in victim parents. The first aspect of this syndrome, and the one that parents find most distressing, is in fact Stockholm syndrome. This is a coping mechanism seen in victims who are kidnapped and held hostage. In order to survive, the victim develops an emotional connection with their abuser. Now consider your child's situation. You are the loving parent. Your child knows this. But the institutions that you and your child believe are going to protect you instead betray you and your child for their greed. So your child is removed from a loving home and sentenced to live with their abuser. Imagine the severity of the psychological distress your child is experiencing. They are being neglected and or abused daily, and they are dependent on their abuser emotionally, physically, and financially. How do they survive? The child does so by aligning with the abuser. The child begins to exhibit the abuser's ideology. An important one is to reject us, the loving parent. Other symptoms and signs seen in these children is failure to thrive, as seen on their growth charts, academic loss, as seen on their school report cards, and later failure of college prospects and job prospects. They often experience health problems due to chronic medical, dental, and vision neglect during childhood, or alternatively unnecessary medical treatments and procedures depending on the particular psychopathy of their abuser. These children are at higher risk for substance abuse, mental health problems, and criminality. Their ability to form healthy relationships is severely impaired. They partner with abusers because that is what is familiar to them, hence continuing the cycle of abuse as adults. And eventually they find themselves once again in the course that first planted the seed of destruction during their childhood. Diabolical, you say? Exactly. It is very important that we recognize the syndrome for what it is and label it accurately. Government-inflicted familial trauma, again ironically, shortened as GIFT. I am certain that in the near future, the syndrome will be studied on a massive nationwide scale. For now, my findings are based on extensive histories and notes that I have taken over the past year during discussions with countless victim parents and youth survivors of family courts, CPS, DCFS across the country. My findings are backed by several healthcare workers, many of whom are also victims themselves. If there is one take-home message from today's video, it is this. Please stop using the term parental alienation. The courts and the mental health providers who work in collusion with the courts would like us to use this term because then the blame is diverted onto the other parent.
Mm-hmm.
The viewpoint is narrowed to that of the relationship between one parent and child, when in fact the entire trajectory of the child's life has been altered irreparably due to the criminality of institutions that should have protected the child. The truth is, if you or I or any human with half a brain and a conscience was a family court judge, none of our children would be tortured in this way. The abusive parent would have no ground to stand on. What the family courts, CPS, DCFS have done to our children cannot be undone. And now, these war criminals will be sentenced to imprisonment for life for treason against we the people under color of law. We the people demand massive reparations for permanent damages incurred by us and our young ones. Starting now, we call the suffering of our children by its real name: government inflicted familial trauma. Gift. The second video, where we discuss the cluster of symptoms and signs in victim parents, will be released shortly. Thank you.
Yo, she ain't lying either, though, man. Like, once you put your children in that system, it's messed up. It's rare that they come out okay or the same person that they were before they went in that system. And you know the video we just watched before that, where they try to snatch up them kids? That's what that system be doing. They'll come up and snatch your kids and you won't see them again. And it's like legal kidnapping in a way.
Ain't no way he can just take off right from right.
Wait a minute, what is this?
No,
He finna just fly with this?
He's strapping up. Dude, that's like putting a goddamn
Quit playing.
fan on your back. Or a fucking air.
Aw, they didn't even show him fly. I thought he was gonna fly.
Hey, bro. What the fuck is that? Hold on. Let me hear it. Like, what the fuck was that?
Just right there. Just coasting.
This, right? This, or this, right? Seems like a no-brainer to me. You would think after, 50 plus years of being misled about the type 2 and the weight loss, that you would be like, I'm all ears. I'm a practitioner. I want to know, how can I get my patients off this and this and this? Please tell me. Insulin sensitizer reduces insulin resistance, reduces belly fat, increases your mood. Amazing mood. Helps you get into ketosis, helps you fast. The only natural cholesterol lowering non-medicine, this Cleveland Clinic, if used consistently, can replace a statin. Hallelujah. Wouldn't you think that I'd be blowing up? But the sad thing is the practitioners that come to me and go, hogwash, misinformation, should be chasing me down. I've never heard of this. We've been around 100 years, but I've never heard of this because we are being hidden. No side effects, lowers triglycerides, raises HDL, fasting, easy, bowel movements, easy, erectile dysfunction, keep it, PCOS, keep it, high blood pressure, high glucose, keep it, but We are a tiny little company not owned by the people that write the scripts or the people that insure you. We're just a small company screaming loudly. Give us a try. 100% money back guarantee, or you can keep perpetuating, letting them perpetuate the lies on you. It's your choice.
Well, tune in to Netflix. According to a new Netflix documentary, I know this is going to be hard to believe. Apparently, it's titled Vampires in Gem City. It alleges that the largest coven of vampires outside of New Orleans, you won't believe me if I tell you, Dayton, Ohio. Some people don't even believe in Ohio. And most of us don't believe in vampires. But anyway, I've been to New Orleans. I never saw a vampire. I think these people have been watching too many of these vampire shows and reading too many Anne Rice books. I mean, I hate to tell you all this. There is no such thing as vampires. It's weird that people really do believe that kind of stuff. And I mean, and what's even worse is I'm probably going to end up watching this show.
Hold on. Do y'all believe in vampires or not? I don't know. Could be true. Could very well be true. Vampires could be some form of a reptilian or something like that.
You ever seen the map of that one thing that happened in Las Vegas that we're not allowed to talk about?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, there's like a whole map on the internet. You got to check this out. So open up a search engine, whichever one you want, and type in these 4 words. That's the keyword right there. Map. It'll be like the 4th hit or something. You're looking for this one right here. Click on that. Takes you to this thing, which is a whole rabbit hole. So I don't know who made this thing, but whoever you are, you're a legend. It's incredible. Let me show you what this is.
Let's get into it.
By the way, I'm gonna try my hardest to show you this stuff without getting this video taken down and my account's fucked up, because you're really super not allowed to talk about this for reasons. So this is our map right here, and over here I've got Google Earth up so that you can see more easily. So this hotel right here, that's the Mandalay Bay Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
It's that one right there. And they're hosting this country music concert right there in October of 2017. And then some super effed up shit happens, and this is where the map comes in. This is all archived evidence, videos, 911 calls, autopsy reports. This video right here, for example, so when you click on it, it gives you the video, it gives you descriptions and timestamps.
Oh, dang.
You can watch the video, click. So if you don't know what's about to happen in this video, don't worry, you're not gonna see anything graphic. I'm intentionally just gonna show you the ones where you hear what's happening. I need to remind you, you're just at a country music concert in downtown Las Vegas, and then all of a sudden, you hear that? That is exactly what you think it is. So the official story is that just this one dude just went and kitted out his hotel room with like an entire militia's worth of guns and ammunition and then just lost his mind out the window. And just to be clear, that's exactly what happened. So everything else I'm about to show you is just like coincidences and misinformation and weird 911 reports and people just losing their minds in general. And it's mostly all fake because he's the only guy that night that did any shooting at all. Because he actually took his own life at the end of it. The cops didn't even get to his room until like an hour after he was out of there. Like, not like he never left his room. He just like, he left. Of his own accord, theoretically, on his own. He was all alone. There was no one else in the room. But anyways, that's why when you look at the map, there's all these like reportings around the hotel, and there's all this horrible shit that happened right here in the festival. That's also why there's this 911 call happening over here to the side that I listen to, that you can listen to too. You just click on the little link, it's all linked up, where he clearly describes that he had direct visual on 2 dudes carrying the things that, you know, in that hotel running in a direction, and he made a 911 call about it. That's also why up here at the Excalibur, there's like 3 different 911 calls about this of the Excalibur. If you're not familiar with Las Vegas geography, that's where our dude is, the guy doing the bad stuff. We're like down here now in that building. But wait, there's more. There's also like 10 different 911 calls from the Tropicana saying there's stuff going on inside of that building. That's all these right here. There's video, there's phone calls, those are all 911 calls. Then there's all these eyewitness videos of them like completely shutting down this intersection for what sure seemed like them suspecting there was some bad dudes around that area. Despite, remember, there's just one bad guy and he's just way up there in his little hotel room window and he never left until he totally checked out of reality. While he still had like more than half of his stash of ammo just chilling with him, and the cops were not even at his door for another hour, mind you. He just was like, I'm tired, I'm going to bed, like the long bed. Totally logical behavior for someone of this persuasion. Then there's this absolute clusterfuck of 911 calls from the Bellagio. People reporting things like that. Again, to clarify, one bad guy there, that's it. But the Bellagio is like way down here. Where's the Bellagio? It's like one of these guys, I think. Oh shit, no, it's even further down.
Yeah, there we
it's
go.
right here, way down here. Like, we're talking like this dude has somehow like made all of these dudes panic and think that there's something going on inside this building. Then you move up to the Mirage. There's more. Caesar's Palace, Mirage, right there. 911 call. You can listen to it yourself. It's recorded. The Venetian, same thing. Listen to the 911 call. That's not to mention that something seriously fishy happened at this helicopter tour spot right here, which you can see right here, where there's these 911 calls that came in from there, where dude's girlfriend calls and is like, yo, something super bad is happening here. And they're all locked down and they're hiding. And one woman was injured. It's really not clear what happened to Sundance helicopters, but what is clear is there was some super weird helicopter stuff happening that night. You can see them in the videos, like helicopters that aren't police, that aren't supposed to be there, that don't officially exist. But then people started digging through the flight logs.
The same three helicopters that left earlier began to return from the north, head south across the strip, and then stop and begin to hover above the Mandalay Bay area for several minutes. By 9:50, all three helicopters hovering above Mandalay Bay turn off their transponders 15 minutes before the shooting begins, and they do not go back on until after the shooting at the festival ceases.
15 minutes before everything starts. And there's this whole rabbit hole to be done with a special kind of helicopter. I'm told that it uses its exhaust to be its rear like stabilizers instead of having a rear propeller. Makes it super quiet. Anyways, it's sidetracked. Anyways, there's way too much here to fit into a short form video. It's already super long. I'll do a longer video about it at some point, but you should really go check out this map for yourself and just like think about it, think for yourself. There's a great documentary on Rumble called Route 91. I think her name is Mindy. Did a great job of compiling like the story and the evidence. She's a little intense, but you know. But she also doesn't go into this whole deeper layer, and I don't know why she doesn't. I'm just gonna like benefit of the doubt, but there's a whole layer beneath what happened that leads to Saudi Arabia. Mohammed bin Salman, the transition of the crown prince, the Khashoggis, Jamal Khashoggi getting, shall we say, julienned a year later to the day. I mean, it's literally like, what would happen if a Jason Bourne movie happened in real life and then the government had to cover up whatever the hell had just happened in downtown Las Vegas? This would be the story that you get. It was all just one psychopathic dude with an absolute truckload of weapons and bump stocks, mind you. Those never malfunction. And it just happened to take the police like an hour and a half to even get to his room. By then, he was already just sick of the whole charade and had already gone to bed, despite having an entire cache of weapons and ammunition still ready to go. And all these other reports from the night of videos and 911 calls and people freaking out. They were just crazy Las Vegas people. They were just hallucinating, making up stories all up and down the strip. Although in a few instances, those stories did drop like automatic handguns on the ground that civilians picked up and handed to police officers like, yo, I found this. It doesn't belong here. I'm for real. If you don't know about this rabbit hole, go research this rabbit hole. Rest in peace to all the civilians that unfortunately lost their lives that day, because what a fucking tragedy. Like, just at a music festival trying to live your life. It's honestly like really heartbreaking, because on this map, these are all autopsy reports, and you can read the details, and I'm not going to go into them right now because something about that just seems kind of wrong on camera. But they're like teachers and mothers and like people with families, and it's just like, it's a little choking to actually turn it, like, stop looking at it as like a crazy story and like and to actually think about like the human lives in this world. Because too often the news just turns into like news and clickbait and arguments on Twitter, but like this is real life and these are people's lives and we're all people. And I think too often we forget that we're pretty much all just people. We've all got families. We all just want the best for them. And we're all generally just doing our best to do it. So yeah, tell someone you love them today. Don't trust the government. They're always lying. Drink some water. And if anything crazy ever happens, film it twice.
Yo, if you weren't a conspiracy theorist prior to watching that video, you probably are now. That's crazy. I gotta go on that website. I'm gonna be on there all night.
Do y'all remember this guy, the Bully Slayer? He used to post a lot of videos here on TikTok.
No lie. You know what? He was on a lot of my early videos, and I haven't ran into like one of his videos in a long time. Cool dude. He'd be like, I got you now. Yeah, got you guys now. Wonder what's going on with him.
He has over 1 million followers. I follow him. He followed me back. Well, something kind of strange has happened. He hasn't posted a video on TikTok for almost 5 full months. And he used to post videos here almost every single day. So I checked out his Instagram just to see if he switched to a different social media site, and he hasn't posted there in almost 10 months. Like I said before, a lot of people follow him. He posted a lot of videos and he got a ton of views. But for some reason, nothing from him. Nothing since the end of March. Now, maybe he got bored, maybe he got burned out, maybe he just decided he's done making videos. But to me, and maybe it's just me, it's weird when people just disappear, just leave social media like that. Especially when they have a real big following. If anybody else knows what happened to him, or if you're just curious, let me know in the comment section, Booskies. Shabadoo!
Yeah, what happened to the Bully Slayer, guys? I haven't heard from him in a long time.
Okay, you guys want to hear something crazy? So I got an MRI done today. And one of the first questions was after, like, make sure you're not wearing any jewelry, anything metal or bobby pins or whatever, was, are your leggings Lululemon? And I was like, what? What kind of weird question is that? And he said, Lululemon leggings are the only leggings that we have to ask about because they've had so many people come out of the MRI machine with burns on.
Listen, if you have a bank account, everyone has a bank account. If you have a cell phone, almost everyone has a cell phone. You need to watch your bank account, okay? Watch this.
News is asking a security question tonight that deals with your cell phone. How did a Maryland woman lose $17,000 even though she had two-factor authentication on all of her accounts?
Well, security experts tell I-Team investigator Scott Taylor that it's a lot simpler than you could ever imagine.
We all know criminals have multiple ways to steal your identity, but 7 News is sending out a warning. SIM card swapping almost cost Sharon Hussey of Bethesda, Maryland, $17,000.
It was absolutely stunning. It was just like my heart fell to the floor.
It all started when Hussey got this email thanking her for a purchase of a new phone at Verizon. Minutes later, her contact information at Bank of America changed. The problem? She didn't do either transaction and had two-factor authentication on her accounts.
The bottom just kind of dropped out.
She called Bank of America, but her cell phone was no longer active. An online attempt required a verification code her phone couldn't receive. Within minutes, her 17 grand was missing.
Initially, I didn't realize how big of a deal it was. I thought I had handled it on the first day by calling the bank, calling Verizon, figuring things out.
Hussey tells 7 News Verizon said someone in California walked into one of its stores and purchased a new phone along with a new SIM card and used Hussey's current phone number to activate the new phone. When the new phone was turned on, Hussey's phone went dead. Hussey used a landline to contact Bank of America, but it was too late. 17 grand vanished.
Dang. That's messed up, y'all. Can you imagine? You wake up one day, 17 grand gone, you can't call nobody. They just came in and just took your stuff. That's why I don't mess with Verizon. For real. Their bills already be too high, and it can't even protect your SIM card. But you gotta be careful. Watch out for the clickbait. If you get a message or anything, if people try to fish for your data, don't give them anything, because you see what the outcome is. You'll be down 17 grand and no way to get it back. But yeah, guys, these are some of the most strange and bizarre TikToks that are out there. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bells on, and until next time, YouTube, peace.